Revenge. It's a dish best served cold, right? At least that's what they say. You've heard it before someone does you wrong, and every fiber of your being tells you to hit back, make them pay. But then, out of nowhere, someone drops this nugget of wisdom into your lap. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Really? That's the best we've got. That's the secret? Let's dive into this. Because, as you'll see, it's not quite the comforting little phrase it pretends to be. All right, let's paint a picture. Someone, let's call them your enemy, has wronged you. Maybe they lied, stole, betrayed, or humiliated you. It doesn't really matter what they did, just that you're left seething, plotting, daydreaming about all the clever, delicious ways you're going to serve them a dish of cold revenge. But then, bam, here comes this moralizing quote to ruin the fun. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. It's almost offensive, really. Like, oh, you wanted to get even? Nah, just be better than them. That'll show them. But let's think about it. What does it actually mean not to be like your enemy? On the surface, it sounds noble, like it's telling you to rise above the pettiness, to take the high road, to maintain your dignity. Be the bigger person. Show them you're untouchable, morally unshaken. Bravo. Gold star for you. You didn't sink to their level. You can pat yourself on the back while they sleep peacefully, unaware that you've triumphed by simply not being them. Yeah, that'll totally make you feel better. But let's face it, there's a dark side to this quote, one they don't tell you about. Sure, they say it's not being like your enemy that's the key to revenge, but what they're really telling you is to suppress every single instinct you have to fight back. Oh, you wanted justice? Retribution? Some satisfying payback? Too bad. Instead, you're told to sit there with your halo, while your enemy skips along, probably laughing at how you've chosen the higher road. Because let's be honest, being the bigger person sounds great, until you're in the moment, and then it's just sad. You've been hurt, maybe betrayed, but hey, at least you didn't stoop to their level. That'll keep you warm at night. Totally worth all the pain, right? Here's where things get really interesting, though. This whole idea of not being like your enemy, it's not actually about them. It's never been about them. No, it's about you. It's about who you become when you give in to that temptation for revenge. Because if you do, if you let them shape you, twist you, mold you into something you're not, then guess what? They've won. Think about it. You set out to make them suffer, to show them they don't own you. But if you become just like them, cruel, vindictive, spiteful, then they do own you. They've reshaped you into a reflection of their worst qualities. And suddenly, you're not you anymore. You're them. You see, revenge has a funny way of changing people. You think it'll set you free, give you closure, maybe even a sense of justice. But what you don't realize is that it's a trap. It pulls you in, whispers sweet promises of satisfaction, only to leave you hollow. Imagine this: you plot your revenge, you carry it out, and for a brief, fleeting moment you feel good. You feel powerful. But then, in the silence that follows, you start to wonder, was it worth it? Did I become the very thing I hated? And that's the tragedy of it all. You thought revenge would make you feel like a hero. Instead, it just makes you feel like them. So what's the real power in not being like your enemy? It's not about being the bigger person just to prove something to them. It's about not letting them win, not letting them reshape you into something small, something bitter. Because when you rise above it, not in some noble, self-righteous way, but in a quiet, private, deeply personal way, you keep your identity intact. You stay true to who you are. And that, my friends, is the revenge no one sees coming. The kind of revenge that doesn't scream or shout. The kind that whispers. The kind that stings the hardest because it's silent, and they'll never know they lost. You didn't need to destroy them. You just didn't let them destroy you. But here's the part no one tells you. That silence, that quiet refusal to become like them, it's heavy. It weighs on you. Because deep down you wanted the satisfaction of seeing them hurt just like they hurt you. But instead, you're left with this emptiness. You're left staring into the void of what could have been, what should have been. If you just let yourself fall into the trap, but you didn't. And that's the saddest part of all. You don't get the grand moment of justice. You just walk away, quietly holding on to your dignity, knowing that you're not like them, even if part of you wanted to be. So, next time you're wronged, remember the real battle isn't out there with them. It's in here with you. And sometimes the hardest thing to do is nothing.